Hello, my name is Carlos Flores and this is a video for the Automatic Control System class. The topic of the video is control systems. And for that, first I have to say what a control system is. A control system is a device or set of devices that manages, commands, directs, or regulates the behavior of other devices or systems. There are two common classes of control systems. There's the open loop and the closed loop. In the open loop control systems, the output is generated based on the inputs. For example, in an automatic washing machine, this machine runs according to the preset time and it doesn't matter if the clothes are washed or not. The second example is an electric hand dryer. Hot air comes out as long as you keep your hand under the machine, making the machine work with sensors. And it doesn't matter if your hands are dry or not, it just keeps working eventually until you put your hands out. The advantages of the open loop control system is that it's simple in construction and in the design. It is economical, it is easy to maintain, and it's generally stable. The disadvantages is that they are inaccurate, they are unreliable, and any change in the output cannot be corrected automatically. In the closed-loop control systems, the output is taken into consideration and the corrections are made based on the feedback. It takes the output and then compares it to the input, and that's how it knows if the machine is working correctly or not. A closed-loop system is also called a feedback control system, based on the way it works. An example of a closed-loop system is the cooling system in a car, because it operates depending upon the temperature which it controls. The second example is an air conditioner. The air conditioner functions depending upon the temperature of the room. The advantages of the closed loop is that they are more accurate even in the presence of nonlinearity. This means that even if the work is not constant, it actually can work pretty well. Highly accurate as any error arising is corrected due to presence of the feedback signal. This is because it it sends the output back to the input of the process and it tells it if it's working correctly or not. And another advantage is the system is less affected by noise. This means that even if there are constant changes in the system, it can be corrected by the feedback. The disadvantages of the closed loop system is that they are more expensive, they are more complicated to design and to build, they require more maintenance, and the feedback leads to oscillatory response. Well, basically, the closed loop system is the best option, but it's more expensive than the open loop. So it really depends on the action or requirement needed from the system in order to choose which type fits the best. Well, now that we got this clear, let's start with the example. Imagine this. There you are, getting ready to leave the supermarket. Your hands are full of bags of groceries. You get to the door. So how in the world are you going to open it with your hands full? It's really hard. Just when you're wondering whether you'll need to set some bags down, it opens door with a swoosh, as if it's magic. Well, it's not magic. It is actually just science and technology which came up with the automatic doors. So the first person to create an automatic door was a guy named Hero of Alexandria, also known as Mechanicus. This is the mechanical man. He devised more than 80 mechanical appliances that work with air, steam, or water pressure. Some of them were so ingenious that we may find difficult to believe he lived in the first century AC. Among his ideas, outstand the first vending machine or the first robots. But probably one of his most famous inventions was the first steam engine, known as Aeolipile. To demonstrate that this machine had practical applications, he designed a version to be used for the opening of temples' doors. That was the first automatic doors in history. But instead of using electricity, the power source was water steam, which can exert big pressures, and by this he opened the temple doors. So the automatic doors are movable doors. that close or open automatically at a walkway and are normally used for entrances and exits. There are different types of automatic doors, and this depends on the way that the sensors are activated. Some type of automatic doors are activated by hitting a button, which results the doors to open. And these types of doors are usually used in industrial or factory operations. The second type of doors consists of panels that falls when a person or object enters or exits. Then the door automatically opens when a person enters or leaves because of the sensors that are in the doors. So the sensor senses the movement of the person and the door will open automatically. These sensors can be adjusted according to your requirement. If you need to open really quick or if you need to open really slow, it kind of depends on the operation. In addition to the sensors, electricity is required to operate the automatic doors. First, I'll explain what type of sensors the automatic doors uses and what each sensor does. The automatic doors can use two sensors, the electro-optical and the weight sensor. Electro-optical sensors are electronic detectors that convert light or change in the light into an electronic signal. They are used in many industrial and consumer applications, like for example in the automatic door, but also in a counter in a conveyor or as a stop to stop the conveyor in the marketplace. An optical sensor converts lights into electronic signals. It measures the physical quantity of light and then translates it to a form that is readable by an instrument. An optical sensor is generally part of a larger system that integrates a source of light, a measuring device, and the optical sensor. This means that you have some device that creates light, and then you have the receptor on the other side. And a way to use this sensor is that, for example, you're creating light, and you have your receptor. And if something interrupts the way of the light that passes through the receptor, it will give a signal to open the system, to stop the system, or to do something else. Some automatic doors operate when they are triggered by sensors that sense weight. These weight sensors might be disguised in a rubber mat in front of the door. When you step on the mat, the sensors send a signal to the automatic doors that tells them to open. And if your weight is not in the mat anymore, the doors will close. So these are called load cells or weight sensors and are electronic devices that are developed in order to detect the electrical changes caused by a variation in the intensity of a weight applied to the scalar balance. In this case, it will be the mat in front of the door. And then the information, which in turn are transmitted to an indicator that receives either like the weight controller. The load cell or weight sensor is an essential component as the weight display for the operation of any scale or electronic scale. And it has a lot of different operations. Like you can use it to measure the weight of something, or you can use it when there are enough weight in the cell to activate some action. So automatic doors have many useful purposes, which is why you can find them in many different types of locations. From supermarkets to airports and many types of large buildings, the automatic doors make it easier for people to get in and out of the buildings. They are especially helpful for people who are handicapped. Similar to revolving doors, automatic doors also help to save energy, since they limit the amount of time that the doors are open to only those times when people are entering or exiting the building. And well, if you ever shop with your hands full of bags, you know how handy automatic doors can be. So in conclusion, I can say that control systems help the entire population to improve the way that people can enter and exit some kind of buildings or in industrial processes. And here's an example of an automatic door.
The automatic doors. I believe these are made by Stanley. Partially closed.
Well, that was my presentation about control systems, and that's it. Bye.